Industrial Revolution, 18th to 19th century.
Good day, ladies and lords. I will discuss to you the definition of Industrial Revolution. First and foremost, let me introduce myself first. I am Juvelin Cepeda, taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Social Sciences at the University of Antique, in line with the subject Soksay 1, which is under Professor Avimaila Moscoso, College of Teacher Education. For today's report, I will tackle about the revolution of industry. But before I proceed, let me share to you a few questions I have in my mind. Do you even wonder how the industry started, how it gradually grows, and what are its benefits and consequences? These are just few of pop-up questions I have regarding the Industrial Revolution. So, without further ado, let me discuss to you how the industry revolutionized. The economic developments of the 1800s saw the development of agrarian and handicraft economies in Europe and America transform into industrial, urbanized ones. The term to describe this phenomenon would be known as the Industrial Revolution and was first used by French writers but made popular by English economic historian Arnold Toynbee. The Industrial Revolution was underpinned by the Agricultural Revolution. From the mid-18th century to the mid-19th century, agricultural production increased significantly. The huge increase in food output supported the expansion and sustained a large population and boosted trade. The increased use of machines over human or animal power in farming also meant that fewer farm workers were needed, and they could leave the land for industrial towns. Better metals and richer fuel also contributed to industrialization by creating the steam engine, an integral machine to industrialization which powered factories, locomotives, and ships. The new steam engines use coal and iron, both in the construction and as fuel, increasing demand for these resources. Roads, canals, and railways changed Britain dramatically, connecting Britain and allowing goods to be sent over long distances. Visually, the revolution was clear in the new industrial towns, with smoking factories dominating the skyline. The cities were horrible to live in, overcrowded, dirty, with dangerous conditions in the factories and strict rules and punishment. The Industrial Revolution saw mechanization of the textile industry, which was previously manufactured in home, creating the term cottage industry. Now production could be increased in a large scale because of new inventions such as the spinning mule and the power loom. The iron industry developed with Henry Bessemer's inexpensive process for mass-producing steel. Iron and steel were key materials for constructing the tools and machinery, steam engines, and ships needed for the industrial progress. Industrial labor opportunities drew people to the cities from the countryside. Great Britain was the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution and was the only mature industrial economy for a long time. Historians have speculated that this was because, as an island, there was relative peace and stability for Britain compared to mainland Europe. Rather than spending on a large defensive standing army, capital could be spent on other ventures, and there was confidence for investors. Native resources were also abundant and readily available for initial technological developments and inventions. Engineers and inventors were also respected and encouraged British society and were backed by wealthy patrons. A powerful navy and an empire bringing in vast wealth from its colonies also contributed to the catalyst for industrialization before others. Nevertheless, Germany, France, Switzerland, Belgium, and the United States soon emulated Britain's industrial change, and by 1900s, Britain would no longer be at the top, with the United States as the world's leading industrial nation in the 20th century. Collectively, there were many major factors that contributed to industrial revolution. The urge to increase the quality of human life, to make technological advancement, led to the causes of the industrial revolution. But those are three most important causes of industrial revolution. These are dependency on technology, impact of education, and Protestant Reformation. Dependency on technology. New inventions and technologies played an important role in the Industrial Revolution. They changed the way things were powered, how goods were manufactured, and how people communicated, and the way goods were transported. These new developments allowed the Industrial Revolution to grow rapidly. That's why it's one of the main causes. Trying to imagine what life would be like without technology is practically impossible. We are so dependent on technology that it becomes an integral part of our lives. Technology has made life easier, more convenient, and more enjoyable. Almost everything we do involves technology in one way or another. Education changed during the Industrial Revolution. In the beginning, before the 1800s, poor children couldn't afford the price to go to school, as schools were not yet free in Britain. But then slowly, school became compulsory, and poorer class children could go to school, and many acts and unions took part in sponsoring of improving the schools in Britain. It changed the entire country because the country had more schooled children and adults to work in better jobs and create better lives for the people in the next generation. Protestant Reformation is a religious movement of the 16th century that began as an attempt to reform the Roman Catholic Church and resulted in the creation of Protestant churches. Reformation religious movement is a movement intended to bring about religious reforms. The development of the printing press paved the way for the Protestant Reformation and the Industrial Revolution. With the advent of mass literacy, religious faith could become more individualized. The development of electronic media such as the radio and television provides yet another opportunity for the evolution of religious expression and markets, and it was fundamentally shaped the history of the centuries until our own time. Regarding with this, Jam Campus created a song entitled Industrial Revolution Song. So sit back and relax as you watch it.
Yeah, we got that Thomas New coming at ya. Let's go. Yeah.
Before the mid-1700s, humans lived by where the food was growing. Life expectancy at 35, limited education, riding horses, simple weapons. Every item you'd be owning made within your small community, your family or companions. The 1750s started in Great Britain. Clothing industry, weaving machines increased the speed to build them. The spinning jenny water frame improved the process. Water kept machines going, then they made the steam engine. And the steam engine changed everything. Railroads, steamboats, coal from mines, cotton dyes in Britain. Production to pay humans wages high, but coal was cheap and efficient. Coal machines are mechanized. New manufacturing, industrial revolution, from the small shops to factories. Changes in invention, technology, transportation, different way of life for many. Steam engines are working, more machines are turning for an economic benefit, but the city's now overcrowded. From agricultural to industrial population, meaning many people moved into the cities to work in. Couldn't support them, it's crowded, unsanitary, and poor conditions within factories while people working. And steel everywhere, mass produced, replacing wood as the main building tool. Got that telegraph, semi delivered the same night. New farming tools help to increase the food supply. Profiting companies, efficient production lines, polluting air with nuclear waste, carbon dioxide. The towns provided humans benefits economically, but damage the environment negatively. New manufacturing, industrial revolution, from the small shops to factories. Changes in invention, technology, transportation, different way of life for many. Steam engines are working, more machines are turning for an economic benefit, but the city's now overcrowded.
Even in today's time, we're experiencing industrial revolution. Whether it's war machines, modern medicine, or infrastructure, the effect of industrial revolution can now greatly seen. Every technological advancement made is a sign of industrial revolution.